The supreme god Odin was exploring the 9 realms with his travel companions 𝐭𝐿 and the notoriously mischievous Loki. After a long journey, the 3 reached a waterfall in Nidavellir, the subterranean land of the dwarves, and stopped for water. Odin and 𝐭𝐿 were eager to meet Hreidmar, the king of the dwarves, but Loki was bored and hungry. Spotting an otter nearby, Loki tossed a stone at its head, killing the animal. He kept its pelt and slouched after the others. When they greeted Hreidmar, the king paled, for the pelt belonged to none other than his shape-shifting son. Hreidmar summoned his surviving sons, Fafnir and Regin, and bound the gods. He decided he would let them go in exchange for gold, as was the custom, but only if they could fill the otter pelt with the finest gold until not even a hair was visible. Because of how the otter's skin stretched, this meant procuring a nearly impossible amount, but Loki had an idea. The dwarves were master craftspeople. One of them, Andvari, was said to forge marvelous creations. Andvari often took the form of a fish, and one day he dove more deeply than ever before. So deep he reached the land of the water nymphs who guarded mounds of gold. At first, Andvari merely wanted to see their treasures for himself. But when the nymphs laughed at his awkward appearance, Andvari grew infuriated and seized their gold. With it, he crafted himself a unique ring. As long as he wore it, Andvari's wealth would increase. Loki saw Andvari's riches as the perfect solution to their problem. He returned to the waterfall, conjured a vast net and extracted a wriggling fish. As Andvari squirmed, Loki jeered that he'd kill him unless he handed over his treasure. Andvari directed Loki to his lair. Satisfied with the heaps of gold he saw there, Loki freed Andvari, but a sudden glint off of one of the dwarf's fingers alerted Loki that he'd missed the most potent treasure of all. Despite Andvari's pleas, Loki tore the ring away. Seething, Andvari cursed the ring, declaring that it would be the doom of all its subsequent owners. Back at the palace, Andvari's gold completely covered the otter's skin, but as Hreidmar inspected the pelt, he saw a single bare whisker peeking out. So the gods relinquished the ring. As Hreidmar slipped it onto his finger, Regin shuddered at the greed in his father's eyes while his brother, Fafnir, looked on in envy. Later, when Fafnir demanded that the king share the wealth, Hreidmar refused. So, Fafnir killed his father, pried the coveted ring from his finger, and fled the palace with the treasure. He came to rest in a cave, where he curled around his new possessions. The ring warped him inside and out, and over time, Fafnir morphed into a gruesome dragon. Meanwhile, Fafnir's betrayal and guarded treasure bore into Regin's mind. He finally enlisted the help of his loyal foster son, a warrior named Sigurd, to slay the monster his brother had become. Sigurd did as instructed. Afterward, Regin asked Sigurd to roast the beast's heart so he could consume it. Sigurd obeyed and tasted the heart's blood before serving him. But as soon as the liquid met Sigurd's tongue, he understood the chatter of the surrounding birds. They were singing of but one thing: Regin would kill him. So, Sigurd slayed Regin and seized the wealth for himself. This was only the beginning. Over the coming years, the ring would tear families apart, doom lovers, and empower, then ultimately destroy any who possessed it. Andvari's curse set a vicious cycle that would consume many lives and inspire some of the most influential works of the 19th and 20th centuries.